right, and welcome back to the Be-Leaf-ers podcast. This is episode 55. I'm your host, Mikey D, and the captain, Ryan, is on Robida Island for the moment, but I got Cody with me.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. It's nice to have you here. Nice to have you. This is the second time you're on the show now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The second showing would have been earlier, but I did not know the lesson bros before hoes. I am sorry. I'm an idiot.
No, it's all good, man. It's you know me, I've got a busy life with the two kiddos and work and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. I'll fit in every time that I get the chance to.
Yeah. Nice to have you here today. And well, even though Ryan's not with us, we'll get more of his thoughts the next time he's on. But like to recap the end of their vacay, and which was also because I took days off work too. It was supposed to be their last day here in Toronto, the Thursday. It was the week after the 12th. I honestly, it's just time ago now. That Thursday we went to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Yep. And I've lived in this city my entire life, and that was my first time at the Hall of Fame. Like, that wasn't the gift shop, because the gift shop you can get in for free. Yeah, and I have multiple times to collect the Oyos for the All-Star rink I got here. But dude, oh my god, the Hall of Fame was really cool. Like, you walk in, the entrance fee actually wasn't that bad. It was like $25 after tax and all that. They stamp your hand, like, if you want to like leave, go for a coffee or lunch or something, and then like come back in. You just got to show them the stamp on your hand. It's just there's so much to look at. Like, everywhere you look, there's something cool to look at. Whether it's an old jersey, a really old pair of skates from like, it looks like it's from the 1920s.
And the stick.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, dude, that was literally a wooden branch. Yeah, a small wooden branch. And that, yeah, on it would say like the origins of hockey, and it's like, oh, they gotta have the fucking cow shit puck in there.
Oh yeah. I don't think they'd be able to keep it together because it was frozen cow dung. Yeah.
Well, what I thought was surprising though is like, so there's one section in the Hall of Fame it's a mini locker room. Yep. Of the Montreal Canadiens, and like all the old jerseys are there. There was a couple old timer goalie mask and pads. It honestly, it was really cool. Why did it have to be Montreal?
They actually they change it up. It's not just the same team.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, when I went there, it was Montreal. That was, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before that I went there, but they do change it up to different teams. And they change a lot of the stuff that's there, like the setup and stuff, to make it so you can go more than once and enjoy it. And all the stuff that they have in the Hall of Fame is not actually on display. They have stuff that's hidden away, that's tucked away right now, and then they bring it out and they change it around a lot.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like every time you go, it'll be a different setup.
Yeah, there's ways of finding out on their website, I believe, on who they're displaying at that time and why. And they'll have like a story behind it and a theme and all of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it? One of the parts of the Hall of Fame I've always wanted to, like, if I were to go through it, this is like, it's guaranteed happening. It's kind of like like you get a stick and you take shots. You get a total of 8 shots, and you got to take a shot at this like screen, and there's a digital goalie on it. So it's kind of like you're playing NHL. And it was fun. So I go up to the guy and I'm like, is this like an extra charge? Or he's like, no, it's free. You just got to give your name and your birthday. And then just wait after like a couple kids. Like, even though it was a Thursday afternoon, like there were a couple families in there. So I went up first, and it was my first time holding a stick in I'd say at least a year. And I went 0 for 8. Ryan went up, and he went up second, and I think he hit 4 or 5. Like he at least hit a couple. And then Kyle was the last one to go up, and he, like myself, went 0 for 8.
Yeah.
And it was cool too, because like, so Ryan and I, like, we're taking photos of each other, like when we're taking the shots and shit, because it's like, all right, this is gonna be a cool like profile picture or something. And the guy was like, oh, if you look at the sign here, it had like a barcode or a QR code. Put it into your phone, and then you get the footage. So like they're filming you from where the screen's at.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, it was so fucking fun. Well, there's a section, just because like I'm a very big goalie guy, and like goalie masks are cool because like they're the only players on the ice that has art on their helmets. The goalie section was really fucking cool. Some of the masks like just look like skin and fucking bones.
Well, that at one point in time, that's all their mask was their skin and bones.
Honestly.
Yeah, I remember the story about Johnny Bauer. They're like, you can't play this game unless you put a mask on. And he was forced to wear a mask for his first game ever with a mask on.
Oh, wow.
Because he didn't want to. And you look at him and like Terry Sawchuk and some of the big name guys from back then, and their faces all just beaten, right? It's like they took pucks. Yeah. Yeah, and like that was when men played hockey. Like, I'm not saying anything about the guys that play now that they're not true men and stuff, but it's just the meaning behind what a hockey player was back then to now has changed so much.
Yeah.
Like the skill is so much better now too than it was back then. Like, I don't know about you, but playing goalie without a helmet on in this day and age with guys like like you see the shots that Matthews and Nylander have and stuff like that, taking slappers and wrist off the face. Yeah, no, thank you. Like you're just looking to die in the net.
It's a death wish.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know what? I've had a good run, and this is where I want to call it quits.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine being back in the day and taking an L.I. Afraidy slap shot at 105.1 miles an hour to the face.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
No, thank you.
No, I'm good, buddy. And then what was it? So one of the last things that we did in the Hall of Fame, we followed the signage, and we ended up in the Grand Hall, which is where a lot of the trophies that you can win within the NHL is like glassed up there, and it's really pretty. There's like a bowl at the top of the ceiling, and it's got this like broken glass. Dude, it's just beautiful. It looks like you're in church.
Yeah. Well, it is church for guys like us.
Yeah, it is. It is. We're
Lord Stanley.
We're going to Sunday service.
Yeah. We are gathered here today by Lord Stanley.
And so the only trophy they have like out of glasses is the cup, and it's funny. My one of my previous supervisors, he was just like, "Oh, that's the Fanatics version, and then the Adidas version is locked up for the teams that win it." I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much." But even though it's a Fanatics version, it still looks fucking beautiful, like up close and personal and shit. And so like you can take a selfie with it for free. But it like to get a proper photo, they have there's a staff member with a camera propped up just a few feet in front of it. And then there was a sign saying that if you want a picture with the cup, it's $10. So I go up to her and I'm like, "Hey, if I were to pay the $10, would I be able to get my buddies in on the photo as well?" And she was like, yeah. So I go up to Ryan and I'm like, "Well, boys, it looks like my treat to you is we're taking a photo with the fucking cup." Because at first he didn't want to take a photo with the cup. He was like, no, it's bad luck. And then after I'm like, no, this will be my treat, my gift for you guys. He's like, all right, I'm not touching it then. So we took 3 different photos, and yeah, he didn't touch it at all. But like, they're beautiful photos. She gives me a slip after taking the photos, and she's like, "Okay, you're gonna go up to the gift shop." To which I thought, all right, I'm going to spend money, and then I'm going to spend more money just because it's the gift shop. And up there is where I would either get prints or at least pay for the photos and shit, get the digital ones. So we walk up into the gift shop, and where you walk into the gift shop from downstairs is it lands you kind of in the middle of the store. And the first thing I saw is the hoodie that I'm currently wearing. It's this beautiful blue hoodie with the 67 Leaf logo on it.
Yep.
And it's warm as hell. And it was very expensive, but vacation pay covered it all.
There you go.
Exactly. Work hard, spend hard. And then what was funny was, so we're walking around, just looking around, see what else is available. And Kyle, he sees this like big chain, and at the bottom of the chain is a big logo of the Red Wings. And so he grabs it, and he's like, yeah, this is going to be my look. So I'm like, oh, shit, is there a Leaf one? And the stand that we were at, they only had 4 teams, and Detroit was one of them. And he's like, oh, no, it doesn't look like they have Leafs. So we walked around for a little bit, and all of a sudden on one of the ends of the stands, I see the blue chain. I look at the bottom, and it's a Leaf logo. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting it. So expensive monies later, I have a new hoodie and chain that I'm currently rocking as we record. Wonderful.
Yeah, they sell those chains at what do you call it? Sport Track.
Yeah.
Right across from the main entrance to the arena.
Oh,
they sell them there too.
The one across from Maple Leaf Square.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And yeah, so that was. Oh, what was it? For the end of the gift shop there. So the photos we took, because we got 3 photos. So I printed one of each photo, and that was a gift for Ryan and Kyle, and I got to keep one. And the very next day, I got her in a frame, and she's already up on the wall. Yeah. What was it? Ryan came in his first day, and he gave me a gift. And it's really sweet, because he said, he's like, Mikey, I know you love your knickknacks. So the first gift he gave me, it's this humpback whale tail, and it's in the colors of the like original Newfoundland flag. So it looks like the Italian flag because it's red, white, and green. That's
cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we both gave each other's gifts, hugs, and so funny side story. Fucking their last day. So the Thursday was supposed to be their last day here. And we're leaving the Hall of Fame at like 4:00, and we're driving back, and the only stop that we had to make before they dropped me off was No Frills. They wanted to stop at No Frills because Kyle wanted to go back home with the Cinnabon cereal, because I don't think they can get that there. So we go into No Frills. I thought we were going to the one I usually go to. But we ended up one also in my neighborhood up on Islington. I'm like, all right, I haven't been here, but we're going to fucking find it. We run right over a few aisles, find the cereal aisle, and they were on sale. You get 2 boxes for $7, and Kyle was hyped like, oh, yeah, I'm going home with the big riches. Let's go. And so then from there, we came back here to Party Central. I thought they were coming in just to like make sure that they had everything, right? And Ryan was the last one to enter the apartment, and he shuts the door behind him, and he goes, well, boys, we're partying for one more night because the flight's canceled. There was a big, bad storm in Newfoundland that canceled their flight, and so it was funny because Ryan, he was messaging the group chat like, oh yeah, flight's canceled, so we're staying at Mikey's one more night. And then I had the best response ever, with just all I hear is shell turning with the boys. But yeah, they grabbed the flight the very next morning. So like he woke up at the first alarm. I like just barely woke up, and I'm like, no, I'm going But Ryan's like, no, we got to head out. And I'm like, okay, I got to come give you hugs. So I walked him out to the front door and gave both him and Kyle just hugs and kisses. I'm like, all right, you guys get home safe, and then message when you do and all that. What was funny was, so I walked back in, and then I'm just thinking, wait, they're going to Newfoundland. They're not coming back. Well, they will, but for right now, they're not coming back. So I ran out the door. I popped my head out, and I'm like, guys, I love you. And then Kyle, he shouts back, love you too, Mikey. No, that was a fun week off for them. For me, that was a lot of fun. Woo. All right, so continuing on, now that we're going to get into actual hockey talk now. So the first thing I got in my notes here past the vacation recap is the All-Star weekend, because that's coming up now that the Leafs played their last game against the Jets. Fuck you, Winnipeg. And
Jesse Pollock, brush your teeth.
Dude, your comments at him were just fucking jokes.
Oh, did you see what Leaf Sing put up?
The AI art, right?
Yeah, the AI art, the horse mouth. That
was it looked so good. Even the whole fucking teeth was fucking hilarious. Oh my god. It looked exactly like him.
Yeah.
It looked like a Disney Pixar version of Jesse.
Yeah, and Curtis had the best burn out of them all.
Oh yes, yeah,
he had a couple of them, and they were just phenomenal.
The one, I think it's the one that Richard posted. Hi, buddy. It's Rich, not Rich. Jesse talking, but it's all baby crying.
Yeah,
baby. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, there was another one too where he did a video of the Leafs winning. Mm-hmm. And he was just like bashing Jesse on it, and it was like going through the whole room. And then he's like, "Here, come here for a second. I'm going to tell you something. Come here for a sec." He's like, "Leafs win again!" And then he slams another beer. And yeah,
yes, sir. That's awesome. Those jerseys. How do you like them?
Which one? Sorry,
the
Jets ones.
No, the All-Star.
Oh, the All-Stars.
We'll get to the Jets in a little bit, but the All-Star ones though.
I like them. I like the take on it. I think it's unique. It's original. It's that they're bringing in the whole Bieber brand and the flip side jerseys. I love those flip side jerseys. Same here. They've got a taste of Tim Hortons to them when you flip them over and you see the yellow in that. It reminds you of Tim Hortons. It reminds you of Timbits. It reminds you of Toronto. It reminds you of what Tim Horton was about. And I was a huge fan of Tim Horton, even though he died, 13 years before I was born. I've always idolized the person that he was and the kind of player that he was. Mm-hmm. And I've got some really unique items of his from back in the 60s and early 70s before he died.
Oh, that's cool.
It really brought a part of that culture into a new modern style. Mm-hmm. And these jerseys are like the All-Star game. The thing that people have to get in their head is that the All-Star game is for the new fans. Yeah. It's for kids. That's why it's fun. That's why they're doing silly things and not making it like actual competitive things. Like they play 82 games and then they go to the playoffs. Yeah. If they got injured during an All-Star game by playing competitive hockey, that wouldn't go very good now, would it?
No.
So, quit whining about it, basically, is what I'm saying to people that complain about it. Like, it's for kids. It's to get them into hockey, wanting them to watch hockey and play hockey and be involved. And Justin Bieber is an icon when it comes to kids and with his music, with his brand, all of that kind of stuff, right? So, I'm a big fan of them. The yellow ones, I wish they kind of went a little bit different than yellow and yellow.
Maybe not a mustardy yellow, but like maybe
just break it up a little bit more, because the star's yellow and the jersey's yellow, and it's like nothing really separating the two of them. Yeah. But all in all, I'm still a fan of it. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, even Ryan, Kyle, and I, we got to see the youth size of the All-Star jerseys in the gift shop.
Yeah,
honestly, I love jerseys, but there's something about seeing a jersey in person. And these All-Star jerseys, like they look cool, and in person they look cooler. If I could, I'd get the blue one, because yes.
Well, Yeah, it kind of goes without saying, right? I was actually looking to buy one, and they're already sold out for the blue ones. Yeah, I wanted to get a Riley one because that guy is Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, you think of one sole player on that team, it's that guy. I really wanted, like, first All-Star appearance, and, you know, it's way overdue, in my opinion, but I get there's more defensive players in the league that have had better careers than him. But I just think if, as an All-Star, it's more of just who you are as a person and a player, not just about your skill set.
Well, it's about damn time, to quote, what's her name from Ant-Man? It was a little Easter egg at the end of it. She's like, it's about damn time. All right, and to continue on with the jersey talk, this has just been a fantastic week for jerseys. The Sharks revealed a new black jersey, which looks so clean. So it's a black jersey. There's some teal and gray striping on the arms, and then a big circle in the middle, shark fin across California. Honestly, that's just it's beautiful. Holy shit! Yeah,
it's a unique take to it. Like, it still has basically what the background was, but they kind of heightened it more.
Mm-hmm. And we got 4 Metro teams getting a new jersey because they're all playing in the Stadium Series, so they're getting an outdoor game. New Jersey and I think they're playing. Yeah, they're playing the Flyers, and the Rangers are playing the Islanders. Honestly, 4 out of those 4 jerseys, the Devils is the best one.
I'm trying to remember what the Devils one looks like now. I'm going to take a quick look.
It's the red jersey, and then the logo, the entire logo is in black.
And it's just the logo, and that's it.
Yeah, like that looks. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the jerseys that Philly and the Penguins had a few years back. Like, it's just the 2 colors. It's just black and yellow, and like it's the yellow that pops for Pittsburgh, and then black with orange that pops for Philly. Like, those were actually 2 jerseys that, after you walk into the Hall of Fame, those were the first 2 jerseys you see.
Yeah.
Cased up. Yeah.
I don't mind the look of the jersey one. It's just not having that circle there. It kind of looks like somebody was broke and couldn't afford to add the circle to it.
It's in case of emergency, break glass and the glass is broken.
It seems bare, in my opinion, but it's still a sharp looking jersey altogether.
Oh yeah. You know what? I will say, like, for the Rangers jersey, I like the striping on the arms. It's just they have letter mark NYR going down. So it's kind of like Rangers when they usually have that letter mark going down.
Yeah.
But just the initials NYR. If they had a logo, I'd be a little bit more easier on it and a fan of it. But yeah, Devils with the only dub there. Devils. There we go.
Yeah, because the Isles is pretty lame.
Dude, honestly, that one's as sad as the Detroit Red Wings reverse retros. Like, do you remember the red one with the black striping and it just said Detroit across it?
Yeah.
Like, that jersey is as bad as that one. Like, they didn't do fuck all with it.
No, it's like, here, we're going to be as lame as we can and make a jersey, and then we're going to hope people might want to buy it.
Right. Like, at least put the fucking fisherman. At least
something.
Put the fucking
something.
All right. Other than that, so to get into some game recaps here, because that's next up on the list, we're going back as far as the Calgary game, which, yes, so Thursday night, after the flight was canceled, all of a sudden it became a watch party because, like, oh shit, there's a Leaf game on. So I got the game on for the boys here, and we watched them come out with a 4-3 dub.
Yep, that was a good game, man. It was a needed win.
After the rough stretch they've had, and even we'll get more talk into it as we go along the recaps here. But it's really been nice to see the resurgence of one Ela fucking Samsonov.
Yes, I am so happy to hear Sammy back or see him back. He didn't come back till the Red Wings game, right?
Yeah. That was the game you guys went to.
Yeah, and so I was part of the crowd that was chanting Sammy's name after that one huge save that he made because it was just unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And then I remember going on to socials after the game on the train ride home, and people are still bashing Sammy, and I'm like, he was the only reason why they won that game. Mm-hmm. Like why they made it where they made it in that game was because of Sammy. He was just unreal in that game, and he let in some goals, but when your defense isn't playing, what do you want from him, right?
He can only do so much.
Yep. And I've got a certain player I'm going to call out and complain about with that, but we'll continue with the Calgary game.
You know what? Just to reveal the behind the scenes, I messaged you earlier. I'm like, okay, we may have a third special guest on today. But if not, you and I will still go on, and you'll get to complain about this player. And then, Cody, what did you respond with? Because that was it had me tear up.
Basically, fucking rights I will. Like, it doesn't matter. I'll still do it anyway. Yeah. I've got to settle this battle and argument that people have been having for the last 2 or 3 seasons about these two players on the team that play the same position. Which one is better, and why we hate one, but the other one is always getting credit when he's just a bum.
Honestly, I just as a tease on where I stand, they're both Toronto Maple Leafs. Just cheer them both for fuck's sakes.
I love both players. I do. But one of them I like a lot more than the other.
I if anything, I'm just ready to laugh at how you explode at this one player. This is gonna be fucking hilarious. But to get back to the Calgary game, it was not Sammy, but it was Martin Jones in net. 23 saves for a .885 save percentage, and then Vladar on Calgary had a .875 save percentage. So Jonesy was a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit better, but still kind of crap.
And then what was it? So to get into the goals, Yegor. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name. Shagranovic.
Sharangovich.
What you said. This 19th of the season. And then the next goal was another Calgary goal. This one, so I was rewatching the highlight packages earlier today, and to see this goal again, this was a double whammy because Kadri is the last Flames player to touch the puck, but it goes off of Gio and then just past Jonesy and in. That's God damn it, that was a bummer.
Leave it to Kadri to bash the Leafs and then go off and score the most lucky, ridiculous goal where it didn't take any talent from him to actually get it in the net. No. He just had to throw it and hope it bounced off of some people into the net for him.
And I feel like there's been a trend in a few recent games where a puck has gone in because of Gio. The player that you're going to bash is not Gio. But the player I'm going to bash, I'm not going to bash him, but I want him to get better. Gio, when he's rested, he's definitely more in it and a better player. But the string of games recently where he was the cause of a goal, either this one where it bounced off him, I'm just come on, buddy, I adore you. Be better, please be better.
Yeah, his placement in front of the net just seems to be the unfortunate spot to be standing.
The bad luck.
Yeah, and Brody went through the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? I remember when I was at the outdoor game in Hamilton when it was the Leafs and Sabres, and Brody scored on his own net. Now, don't get me wrong, we have Mrazek in net, so like anybody could score on Mrazek, including our own team. Like he was so far out of position, it was just a fluke bounce off of Brody's stick that went in the net, and he got ran out of town for that one pretty bad.
Brody's another one. Ever since he was brought in, like I've loved Brody for a good minute. Cody, you wanted to defend him a bit, no?
Oh yes, I did.
Let's rip up some Brody haters, because honestly, Brody does not deserve the hate.
No, he doesn't deserve the hate. And look at the minutes the guy plays. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to play top line minutes, but top line minutes in Toronto seems to be a ridiculous amount of minutes, like 28 to 30 minutes a game for a defenseman, when the rest of your team is not playing defense to help them is pretty ridiculous. And Riley used to be the one that was getting bashed, but then all of a sudden Riley starts getting points and everybody's back onto Brody, and, Brody's the worst. Brody's been playing well. He's had his issues and he's had his mess ups and his weird mistakes and stuff that have happened. But last year, after the All-Star break was when he started having some issues and things go wrong for him. And around that time was when he was learning about his dad and his dad's health. And then during just before season started this year, his dad passed away. So the whole summer he spent with his dad and trying to deal with his dad's sickness, and he never got much of a summer in for training. And when you're at his age, summer training being missed is very big. Like, it can really ruin somebody. And he also has his wife who's been battling MS. That was announced a few years ago, and it doesn't sound like it's gotten much better. Obviously, it's one of those things that it can slowly get worse or it can quickly get worse. And I've experienced that myself with people in my life, seeing what they've gone through with it. And, he's lost his dad, his wife's battling MS, and then our fan base is absolutely pathetic. Same with the media. Like, people just, they don't think about people having a personal life away from the game. And they're like, oh, well, they're making millions of dollars. They should be playing better. And it's like, have you never had an off day at work?
Right? Honestly.
Like,
you're not.
Have you never had something in your life that's affected your life in a bad way and made things happen to you in unfortunate ways? Like, get over yourself and stop thinking about the money. They get paid the money because they made it to the biggest league in the world for hockey, and they deserve it because they're the ones that are giving us the entertainment. They're the reason why we have conversations about this sport, why we love this sport. If it wasn't for these talented players from way back in the day up to now, the history of the NHL for as long as it's been around, if it wasn't for that, what would we be talking about right now? Probably not hockey. So, it's a livelihood for some people. Like, I breathe hockey. This has been my thing my entire life. I was never good enough to make it to the NHL. There's not even 1% chance you're going to make it to the NHL out of all the people that are in your age group. And to make it to the NHL and have a career like Brody has had, and then be battling personal things at home, and people want to go off and say, that's no excuse, he's here to play hockey. Come say that to my face and I'll knock your teeth out. That's my opinion on it. I really don't care. If somebody wants to bash somebody because of dealing with health struggles in their family, losing his father, having his wife battling MS, which means she loses all of her ability to use her muscles in her body, it's such a painful thing to watch. I can only imagine what it is to go through. And this guy travels around with a hockey team, playing the best that he can out there, and then people are going to go off and just bash their name. And people are like, oh, they don't read these posts. They hear what social media has to say about them. Look at Mitch Marner. He straight up announced that he knew what media was saying about him in social media. And it's just people want to bash and bash. Well, you go out there and do better than him. Yeah, that's right. You're not in the league because you suck at hockey. So shut up, watch the game, enjoy it, and support your team and your players.
Exactly. Cody, thank you for that. You know what? Round of applause. That was beautiful.
It's simple, man. Honestly. The same crap happened with Sammy.
Yeah. And we were rooting him on.
Exactly. And now look at him. The media is still asking him about his struggles and like where he sees himself now. Here's an idea. Shut up. Congratulate him on his game. Talk about that game and that moment. Ask him how he's feeling after that game. And if he wants to talk about his struggles that he had, let him bring it up. Because we're not here talking about his personal. We're here to talk about his ability to play the game. And now 3 straight wins. The guy deserves everybody to piss off and give him a break. Because they did it to Brody, then they did it to Sammy, and like who's going to be the next guy that they're going to start jumping on and running out of town because they're not playing the way that they think that they should be playing. You're not good enough to be a coach in the NHL. You're not good enough to be a player in the NHL. Hell, you're not even good enough to go and buy poor-ass tickets to go watch a game because it's too expensive, which means that team doesn't mean enough to you for you to be able to save up $120 to go watch a game once in a while. Like, if you're not willing to support your team, then shut up.
I mean, not even that much, but like, what was it? Marissa was sending photos. We might be going to a game later in February.
Nice.
Right? The tickets were $89, I think, like just under $100. And I'm like, okay, at least that's doable, at least $89. And what was funny is I've never heard of this before, but the seats she was showing, they're called selfie seats. So if you take a selfie and you put up the hashtag on Twitter, fuck you, Elon, I still call it Twitter. You put it up with the hashtag Leafs Forever, and then you have a more likely chance at getting up on the Jumbotron. Like, that sounds fun.
Yeah. But they when I was there with Steph and Ryan and Kyle, they had it there too. Like where we were sitting, you could do it too.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
Behind us, there's like stand-up areas, and that's probably where these tickets are for. Is the stand-up area. You're up in the gutters, man. But you know what? You're still at the game. You're still experiencing it.
That's it.
I get it. Like, not a lot of people can afford to do that kind of stuff, but if you can afford to go and buy Tim Hortons coffees and, treats for yourself and things like that, drink beer, any of that stuff, you can save up money to go watch a Leaf game and enjoy the experience still.
Felt like such an attack on me. You're like,
well, no, it's not an attack on you. I understand, like, things are tight for you, but you praise your team. You're not sitting there just bashing them all the time. You still support them in every way you can.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's the people that are like, oh, I hate the suits that are sitting in the front rows. Well, why don't you go take those tickets?
Yeah.
Oh, they're too expensive for me. Well, it's not their fault that they can afford the tickets and you can't. Like, that's the truth. And it's Ticketmaster resales that are causing it. It has nothing to do with the suits. Oh, they're just buying the tickets because they can afford it. Exactly. Like, letting scalpers resell tickets on Ticketmaster is a joke. And, that's what's causing it all. It's their fault. It's not anybody else's. And there's still ways of getting tickets without going on Ticketmaster.
Oh, when there's
you just have to put in some effort.
Yeah, that's it. To continue on with the Calgary game. Matthews had gotten his 35th of the season. Gregor and McMahon on the assists. It was funny. I rewatched the highlight packages. I don't recall this goal. The one goal I did, I remember vividly is from last night, the historic goal. Just because that felt like a definitive Matthews goal. Like, if you've seen one Matthews goal, you've seen them all. This one, that one last night was it. And then to start the second period in the Calgary game here, he got his 36th. And Willie and Holmberg on the assists. Continuing on, Marner. Okay, this goal I remember. Marner's goal was gorgeous. The way Willie and Matthews on the assists on it, and the puck gets passed over to Marner, and he's on the side of the net, and he goes low and he shoots it in, and it's just, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't get much smoother than that. That was the
and the adorable Selly after. Marner going up to Nylander. So it was Nylander on the primary assist But he jumps up on Willie and like they come crashing down.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's adorable.
The coolest part about that goal is Marner shot that puck across the ice, passing it off to Willie. And then Willie somehow manages to do the exact same pass to send it back over to Marner, and then Marner scores it. And it was like, even the commentators were like, "What a pass by Marner to Nylander!" And then all of a sudden, Nylander dishes it. He's like, "No, I'm not scoring this. You get it."
You got
Sends it right back. He's like, and Nylander passes it back through. Like
they're playing
the chances of that pass happening once is crazy. For it to be a give and go pass like that was just insane. That was one of my favorite plays of probably this year for passing plays, because it was just, there was so much skill and vision in that to be able to get it through and read what the defenders were doing with their sticks to make that happen the way that it did. The goal was beautiful, but that was it. And
the play was it for you.
Yeah. And that's why Marner jumped on Nylander that way, because it was just insane. Like, that was just, oh, man. Like, I want to spray myself with Lysol after that goal because it was so dirty. It was filthy, man.
Oh, that's too good. And then what was nice was, so Matty is back on the Hattie track with his 37th of the season. That's it. What was it? His third or fourth of the season now?
Fourth of the season, I believe.
Yeah, because he started the season with back-to-back Hatties.
Yeah.
And it was funny because Ryan and I, we were talking in the group chat that he's going to Hattie his way to 70 goals or 80 goals or something like that. He's back on track, ladies and gentlemen. And then the last I got here is Nyes and TJ on the. Oh, that was it for the Matty Hattie. Nyes and TJ were on the assists. Mangiapane got his 9th of the year. That's the last goal of the game because the third period I have nada.
Yeah.
Some extra team stats I got here. Shots. Oh, we outshot the shit out of them, 32-26. They out-hit us by 17-16. And we got 2 more penalty minutes than them. We were played a little bit more dirty, 8-6. And we were better at the face-offs with 54.0%, and they got 46.0. So we're better at the face-offs.
That was, if I remember correctly, that was the game when Tavares all of a sudden started heating up in the center again on face-offs, because he was in a bit of a slump with face-offs. He wasn't winning them very much.
Yeah,
that's not common in his career at all. And then all of a sudden in that game, he just started being lights out.
He's starting to heat back up. All right, so the next game I got here. I mean, can we skip over this one? It's the only. I think it's the only loss we got. Yeah, it is. This is the only loss we got to talk about. The 6-4 loss to the Vancouver Canucks. You know what? They've been on a fucking heater, because after this win, it was their 11th or 12th win in a row.
Yep.
Vancouver really, like, what was it? I was telling a staff member this was just a few days when I was in work. And she was gloating like, oh, there's Canadian teams at the top of the league, and it's not the Leafs. And I'm like, the last, at least from that point, the last I'd seen the standings, Vancouver was first overall, which I was just like, what? Boston was second, which, okay, that didn't surprise me. And then the Jets were third, which makes these back-to-back Jets wins all the much more nicer.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right. What was it? A quick fun stat to throw in before we get to the Vancouver game. The Leafs have not lost a game to the Jets since the quotes, oh, there's nothing better than beating the Leafs, right, boys? Fuck you, Winnipeg. What was it? That was Scheifele that said that, right?
Yeah, that was Scheifele when he walked in there, because I can't remember what the item is that they pass around, but every team seems to have something they pass around to the best player of the team award from them.
Yeah.
And, he was walking in with that, saying there's nothing better than beating the Leafs. And now they have not won a game since. Yeah. And it's like 21-6 or 21-7 for goal differential from the Leafs to the Jets in those 5 games.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so the item you were talking about, like the player passes it around, right?
Yep.
So I actually remember something. Holy shit. You gotta get a lottery ticket. I remember when Hutch first made his way onto the Jets, and I was like so proud of the kid. The item that they passed around was, it looked like a jet plane pilot helmet.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so ever since that quote came out, the item he comes in with, it kind of looks like it looks like a wrestling belt, kind of like what the Leafs have. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they've changed items, but I at least remember they did have the pilot helmet at one point in time.
Yeah, I think that's what he was carrying, was the pilot helmet when he was doing that celebration that night. Yeah, I've seen it so many times over the last couple of days because of the 2 wins that we just got. But
yeah, but it's like a meme now. So it got the one I saw last night or the other night, it was so it's that quote, but it says nothing better than sweeping the Jets. Oh, all right, one last fuck you Winnipeg, and let's go. So Jonesy was in net for the Leafs against Vancouver. He had 15 saves for a point. Oh, this hurts ill. 714 save percentage. And,
he was bad.
Oh my god!
But he's been overplayed too. So
like he's had really good games for our boys this year, which that's been promising at least.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a bummer game for him. Hopefully if and when we play him again, hopefully he has a better save percentage. Maybe some that looks like what Demko had. Hey, what a segue. Who made 42 saves for a 913. Jesus H. Christ is weeping.
I remember sorry about the goalie differences here.
Yeah.
I remember having an argument with people on Twitter and on Facebook about the goals. And they're like, oh, Jones looks like garbage. He had a rough night, yes. Yeah. But you look at where they're scoring the goals from. The same thing goes for Sammy. You look at where the goals were coming from. If you're allowing high danger shots from players in the areas that they were allowing them, 90% of the time that puck is going in the net. And you cannot blame your goalie for that. The defense needs to play defense. This is step number 1 towards bashing a certain player, because that game, 3 goals were because of him and his lazy ass play. That's the truth. And everybody was telling me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, watch the replay. And they're like, I didn't see him doing anything wrong in the replay. And I'm like, that's because you couldn't see him on the screen. Because he wasn't even in their end. He was floating on the blue line in center ice trying to get a breakaway. You can't win games without playing defense.
Okay, you know what? Just to hype it up, do you want to do the bashing after we've done the game recaps?
Yes, I will. The reason why I said this now is because of the notes. Yep. I remember going off and complaining about him in our chat, saying these same things, and then all of a sudden, what happens? Go on with your stats.
All right. So to start the game, it was a bummer because Vancouver, Hoglander there scored 2 goals. He got his 13th and 14th of the season. Garland then scored with his 7th. Moving on to the second period, Nylander got his 22nd of the season. Riley and TJ leave him alone with the assists on that beauty. And then McCabe scored. I mean, I can't recall the time between the goals, but I got it. What was it? Rewatching this highlight, they showed the Nylander goal, and then it was like the McCabe goal happened right after.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a difference in time. It was like maybe a minute or two before they scored that second goal.
Nice. They're getting back in it. How did the rest of the game go? Well, we'll get there, but you know what? There's hope. McCabe with his 3rd. Maddie and Marner on the apples on that one. Nylander with his 23rd. Riley on the only apple on that one. And then Garland with goal number 8. Ooh. Third period. Oh, this one was beautiful. On the unassisted shorty by Marner, his 20th of the year.
Amazing read and an amazing play to get that goal too.
The fucking speed on the kid. Like he was tapping X. He was doing speed boost. He was gone.
He was using his flatulence to help get his speed going there.
He was, you know what? I joke like, okay, I'm wired, I'm caffeinated, right? The joke with Marner is because he's the kid. His is he's got all the Mountain Dew. He was Mountain Dewed up for that goal.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Let's dear old man. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Oh, fucking A. Woo. And then and the last two goals of the game came from JT Miller and Pettersson. They're both power play goals. Miller, that was his 21st of the season, and Pettersson, his 25th of the season. Though, for the team stats to run through these, we outshot the shit out of them, 46 to 21. Like, the boys went to work. Like, okay, they lost, but they went to work on the shots. Vancouver out-hit us 34 to 26. And they played a little bit dirtier, getting a couple more minutes, penalty minutes, 18 to 14. And we were definitely better on the face-offs with 61.8%, and they got 38.2%. You know what? Just on the one, I guess one of the last notes for Vancouver, I don't even have it written down. This one's just coming from the heart and soul. I don't know what's been going on in Vancouver, but I love their decision that if they're playing at home, they're playing in those black neon skate jerseys again. The beautiful fucking jerseys. What was it? You didn't get to see them in those because you saw Vancouver, but you were in Buffalo.
Yes,
watching them play the Sabres. How was that actually? Before we get into the Seattle game, that
was an incredible experience. Like I said, I was only 3 rows back from the ice.
Yeah,
I was right on the red line for the goalie on Vancouver's end, which I was bummed about because I was like, well, I wanted Vancouver to win that game because they're a Canadian team.
Yeah,
and my friend that bought me my ticket to take me to help him move the next day.
Yeah,
he's a huge Sabres fan, and I love watching his team lose and watching that look on his face. Like, call me a dick or whatever, but I was just like, all the action's on the other side of the ice. Mm-hmm. And then I got to see Demko make some huge saves. Yep. I got to see the goalie helmets up close. It was just, it was a cool experience. And I also got to really get more upset about the fact that Zadorov went there and didn't come to Toronto like I wanted him to, because that guy is a beast. He's in your face. Like, I don't care. I'm going after you. You have the puck. I'm hitting you. Like, he's just all over the ice playing physical hockey. And it reassured my thought about Myers on how I didn't want him to come to Toronto. And he proved to me why I didn't want him to come to Toronto. Mm-hmm. He's like, people called Engvall a giraffe.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. He's way bigger than Engvall in height, but he's skinnier than Engvall in size. Like, he's just a tall toothpick with skates on his feet. And Vancouver's defensive game is phenomenal. And being able to see that up close was really giving me the reason to see what we were going to see in this next game when they played Toronto. And
you got the prelude.
Yeah. And I actually was sitting with a Boston fan beside me, and him and I were razzing the Sabres fan. And I'm like, this is the first time I ever thought that I'd get along with somebody that cheered for Boston. And he was just like, same with a Toronto fan. And he actually lives like 25 minutes away from me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a small world.
Oh, yeah. I met so many people from Canada when I was there and at the Pittsburgh game when I went to Pittsburgh. So many Canadian people from my area. It was just it was a cool experience just to experience that alone. So,
isn't it lovely how hockey brings people together?
Oh, yeah. It's awesome, man. Like, it doesn't matter who your team is. Like, I'll cheer for my team and I'll rub it in your face when our team's winning and your team's losing, just because I'm that guy. Like, I just like to joke around about that, but I don't let it get to a personal level.
No.
There's one game where I did, but we'll talk about that when we get to that game because it was one of my favorite experiences in my life.
Wait, was it a recent game where you had gone to?
Yeah, it was the Detroit game that I went to, the game after this one.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it, but not the full thing. Because it's not a game we got to talk about, but do you want to explain what had happened? Because it is very lulz.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, because you don't actually have that game on here.
No, it's not. So we'll do it after the recap then.
Yeah, you just did the recap for the Vancouver game.
Yeah.
So I could actually tell it now because it's the next game after that one. So this was
Seattle and then the Jets back-to-back is what we got left.
Yeah, but those games were after the Detroit game.
Yeah.
Because the Detroit game was directly after Vancouver. So this was Sammy's first game back. And we had actually lost to Detroit. And it was a very unfortunate loss. This is when the fans started cheering Sammy's name because he made some unbelievable saves in that game. And the team let him down defensively so much in that game, it was really hard to watch. Justin Hall got his welcome back thing, and people were actually, I heard about 30% of people cheering for him. Nice. I was impressed. I was like, I miss Hall. Nice. And people can bash me for that all they want. Hall got paid pennies and did an amazing job at blocking shots and playing a defensive role. His offensive side was shoddy at times, but defensively, he did what he was expected to do, and the team has to help your one player out. It's not just one player that can make a mistake and cause the team a game all the time. But yeah, we were at the Red Wings game, and we were up pretty high in the crowd, and there's these two Red Wings fans that are sitting probably 8 rows down and about 10 seats to the left of us. And these guys are just drunk, and they're just like, win a Stanley Cup. And I'm just like, you haven't made the playoffs in, 10 years? Like, how long has it been since you even made the playoffs? So shut up. Like, you haven't even been a good team for a long time now. Like, you can't say anything. And then he just kept doing it, and, like, he could hear me clear as day because he kept looking up at me. And so I'm just like, brush your teeth. Get a haircut. Have a shower. We smell you up here. Wash your feet. And then he goes off and he says another win a cup comment. And I was just like, you should have been swallowed. You
ended that man's life right then and there.
He sat down after that comment because there were so many people like this game. They were packed, man. They sold out this game, and every seat had somebody in it. Like, I've never been to a Leafs game where the seats were paid for and people were actually sitting in them. Yeah. The entire arena was packed. It was such a loud crowd. And I yelled this out, and all these Leaf fans around.
Just take your side.
Yeah, they're just cheering for it and celebrating it and everything like that, right? And I was having such a blast with it. And when I said that, he sat down and never said another word until the game was over.
You ended that match. It's the meme of like the one guy standing up. He looks sly, and like there's all these guys running around. I'm like, oh, you ended his career. That was too good though. Holy fuck! I wish I was there for. I wish I was fucking there for that. Oh man.
Yeah, like I like Steph, Ryan, and Kyle did not know that was coming.
I know.
And then after that game was over, I drove back to Hamilton, or took the train back to Hamilton, drove home, slept for 45 minutes, woke up to my dog doing like a deer prancing thing around the house at 2:30 in the morning, and then couldn't fall back asleep because I had to be up at 3:45 to get ready for work.
It's been a long day for you.
Yeah, it was a week from hell.
I'm going to hug you the next time I see you. But to continue on with the games here. So, all right, this is going to be fun because the last 3 games here going into the All-Star break, we got 3 dubs to talk about. The first one, a 3-1 win over the Seattle Kraken. Sammy was in net. He only made 16 saves, an easy night for him for this is going to get him the Vezina, .941 save percentage. Decord was in net for Seattle. He made 23 saves for a .920. What was funny What was funny is because I'm going to start talking about my fantasy team a bit more because I'm doing better. I'm going to do a fantasy story later on before we sign off. But I had Decord. I picked Decord in net for this game because I'm like, okay, because there was only this game and like one more game, so like the goalie pickings were like slim for that day, right? And Decord was at least already guaranteed in net, so I'm like, okay, he's a goalie. In one of the leagues that I mainly follow, like this one, I picked Matthews first overall. Goalie points get you the most points in this league. So I went with Decord, only goalie there. At least we came out with the win. Fuck my fantasy team. In the first period, Matthews got his 38th of the season. Marner on the apple. Second period, okay, you know what? I'm curious to spoil it. Well, not fully spoil it, but the player you are not going to bash is Nicky Bobby. But I am curious to hear your thoughts on if Nicky Bobby has him, because I remember the last time you were on, you were like, oh, he's not eligible for the NHL and all that. But at least in the recent games that he's been in the lineup, he's scored a goal or he's gone an apple. How have you liked Nicky Bobby's play?
He finally slowed his game down. He's finally playing hockey. He's not just some guy out there like a horny gerbil skating around the ice everywhere really fast. Because that's what he was doing. Like, I don't have a problem with Robertson as a player with his ability to shoot the puck. He's got a great shot. Yep. There's a lot of good things about him, but he was not playing solid hockey. He was all over the place. And Keefe was telling him, just slow down. Control the play. Breather. Yeah, like control the play. Don't run out of your way. Like, get out there and play your game. And I actually had tweeted about that. McCluskey had said, really noticing the poise developing in Nick Robertson's game tonight, settling down a lot of plays, initiating resets, buying time for his line mates to change, and it's great to see. Nice. And I said, that's what Keefe has been preaching to him to do. He's got a great shot and edge to his game, but he went out like a horny beaver before, and he's finally waiting for the right opportunity and staying in the defensive side as well. Because that's what he was doing. He was just all over the ice. And it's nice to finally see him slow that down and control his play to be more efficient in the game and be able to stop the back pressure and not just be like in their end while all the plays happening in our end, because he gassed himself out by flying down there. A play never happened, and next thing you know, he can't get back. He's all
out of gas. He's got to fuel up.
Yeah, and like I get the guy's had a lot of struggles with development, with COVID and injuries and all that kind of stuff. It's really taken a lot out of him. Yeah, he's had a ton of bad luck, but he just needed to slow his game down, fix his composure, and start playing true hockey. And the last few games, he really has been standing out and doing that. And he's been very impressive.
Hell yeah, let's go. Nicky Bobby, Domi and Bert on the apples on now. And also that's a duo. That's a deadly duo right there, like coffee and hockey cards. Domi and Nicky Bobby. Because earlier on in the season when he was getting his first few goals, it was Domi and on the assists on his goals.
Yeah.
And then to continue on, Eberle got his 7th goal of the season, and then the only goal in the third period is McCabe's 4th, and it's an unassisted empty netter, the final dagger in the coffin. Boys come out with a 3-1 win. Some extra team stats I got here. We outshot the shit out of the Seattle Kraken 26-17. They out-hit us 15-10, and the penalty minutes are tied 11 apiece. And oh Jesus, the face-off percentage. Oh my God! And I thought I was bad at face-offs and shell. The Leafs came out with 71.7%, and the Kraken got 28.3%. Jesus, that's bad. They were off their coffee that day. Now the next game we're going to talk about is the first game of a home-to-home against the Jets. And what I will say is, like Cody, you had said it earlier, like I hype this team up, and I do. This game actually had me nervous because the Leafs ultimately won. What a huge sigh of relief it was. The 1-0 overtime win over the Jets. That was it's funny. I have it here in my notes here, all in capitals. The Sammy Show made
100%. He was the reason why they had a chance in that game.
Yeah,
that first period they outshot us by a ton. Like we could not get anything going in that game.
No.
And he was just unbelievable in that 2-on-0, that short-handed rush. Like, what a read, man.
Well, it came out after the game. I forget the name. The Jets goalie. He had commented. He's like, "Oh, I knew we were in trouble when Sammy stopped that 2-on-0."
Yeah, because he was just. That's not something a goalie's going to do every game. You're not going to see that every game.
Sammy deserves all the chance, and like he said, I think it was after the Detroit game, like he said he was tearing up hearing the Sammy chants. He deserves all the Sammy chants. So Sammy, let's go. Matthews getting his 39th of the season, the only goal in the game. Riley and Nicky Bobby on the apples on that one. Nicky Bobby was a big part in keeping the puck in the Jet zone on that goal. Rewatching the highlights on that, so it's nice to see Nicky Bobby coming through.
I think he was the only part, and you know what the worst part is that he made that play, passed it back to Riley, skated off for a line change. Riley got it to Matthews for the tip in, and Bobby was in the bench. He didn't even get a plus for it.
No.
Yeah, he got the assist, but he didn't get a plus for it because he wasn't on the ice.
Well, he's getting the plus for it here. God bless you, Nicky Bobby. I love you. He gets it here. He gets it on the show.
What a strange stat, though, eh?
I honestly, so you like, oh my God, what if you were to get the primary assist, but you go over to the bench and it wouldn't count, even though you got.
No, just like a goal during shootouts don't count.
That's
towards your actual stats.
That's so fucked up. Honestly, it's fucked up, man. The team stats for that first Jets game here. The Jets had 2 more shots than our boys, 32-30. They had 1 more hit than us, 21-20. And oh Jesus, they were playing dirty. They got 10 penalty minutes, and our boys only got 4. And we were better at the face-offs. Our boys with 64.8% and the Jets with 35.2%. Now, what's funny is, just because I'm the silly one here, the 3 stars of the game, and this is off the ESPN site, the 3 stars of the game, Laurent Brossoit. Okay, so that's the Jets goalie. He's the one that said, oh, I knew we were in trouble when he stopped that 2-on-0. So he was the 3rd star of the game. Matthews is the 2nd star of the game with a goal and no assists, and Sammy is the 1st star of the game. Now the funny part is on X/Twitter, someone put up a meme, and it's like from Hockey Night in Canada, 3 stars, and it's all like in boxes next to each other. It's Sammy. It's in all 3 boxes.
Yep.
Honestly, though.
He had some tough saves to make in that game, man.
Yeah, for real.
Like he was just lights out.
He was determined to shut the fucking door from the moment the puck dropped to when Matthews finally scored. Like he wasn't letting anything in. No. And I also want to shout out, because I love creating. I speak in memes. I made a meme shortly after. And I shared it with the Leafs late night crew. Hi guys, I love you. It's from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Rosa is holding the dog, and over the dog I put Sammy's face. And the quote says, "I've only had Sammy back to form for a day and a half, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself." And all right, so to talk about last night's win, that was beautiful. 4-2 win. If anything, I missed the first period and a half just because I met up with my brother. I did not expect to go on a Tim's run that late in the day. It was 5:30 when it's oh yeah, already on the Queen Street card. I'm like, well, shit, okay. When I got back, it was about somewhere halfway through the second period, but the totally legal and not illegal pirate streams, the Army Métis, that I was using was not fucking up on me. But I got to watch at least the third period, which had the most action. But what was it? We had Sammy in net last night. He made 24 saves for a 923 save percentage. And Hellebuck in net for the Jets, 26 saves for a 897. And in the first period, Andy Samberg scored a goal. Okay, not Andy Samberg, but it was funny because Samberg scored, and I'm like, oh shit, there's a Samberg in this league. I've never heard of Samberg until he scored the goal last night. I just went, oh, that's Andy Samberg.
That was his first goal in 75 games or something.
I really,
yeah.
Oh wow, that's a huge monkey off that dude's back.
Yeah, he's been struggling a lot on getting goals, but yeah, I remember them saying something about it. It was 70 something. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head right now.
You know what? Someone's going to comment on when this show gets posted. They're going to be like, "Oh, it was this amount." Someone will comment, and to whoever does, I love you. I'm doing the heart thing on the camera. Also, speaking of players struggling to get goals and stuff. Ryan Reeves with a goal. Holy Jesus.
I saw that goal go in, and I'm like, of course Reeves scores.
After, the comments came out where Simmons was talking about Reeves getting a chance, though it may play out similar to how it's been for Simmons. But to see Reeves get a goal, that was awesome.
The thing is that I was actually surprised. I'm glad to see the guy score, especially when he was at home, because Winnipeg's where he's from.
Oh,
yeah, he's a Manitoba-born boy.
Okay.
And so it was nice to see him score at home where all of his family and friends were there.
That's cool.
But he made a comment only a few days before this game about how he's feeling good and he hasn't been hurt for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
While he was on IR.
Yeah, about his knees, right?
Well, no, he was just saying he's been back to healthy and fine.
Yeah.
And that he's been ready to play and able to play for a while now, which that causes some issues for the Leafs organization. And sorry, so he was basically bashing the team for not playing him and saying that they've been lying about him being injured. And then makes a comment about how he always wears his knee braces because even getting out of bed in the morning, they'll pop out on him sometimes.
Yeah, that's the quote I'd heard.
Yeah, so
I heard that
healthy,
quote, and
but
I'm
that
that's got to feel bad.
Yeah, no, he caused a lot of controversy with that comment.
Jesus.
And then goes off about his knees, and I was just like, it doesn't sound like you're very healthy.
Right.
Sorry,
in better shape, buddy.
Yeah, but it explains why he can't skate so well anymore. But last night, man, I'll give him credit. He came out playing.
What was it? I saw something on Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. He had 15 seconds of ice time. I don't know if that was the total after the game, but it was during the game. He had 15 seconds and a goal, and I remember responding to it you know what? He made that 15 seconds count.
It was a good tip in. It was a really good play.
From Gregor,
yeah. You got to give Gregor all the credit for that, but it was a good tip in from him, and then he was out playing his game. He was getting greasy. He was getting in the face of players. He was standing up for himself and his team.
He wanted to fight. He got what was it? He got it was funny. He got kicked out of the game with 10 seconds, 5 seconds left to go.
I think it was 11, or 10, because the Be-Leaf-ers.
But it's the end of the fucking game.
Yeah, well, I heard people going on about Ehlers and saying, "Oh, of course he's going to go for the smallest guy on the ice." I'm like, Ehlers came in and cross-checked one of our players from behind, and Reeves got into his face. You want to keep going? And Ehlers kept hitting him. What do you think Reeves is going to do?
Oh,
like he's laughing at you because you're an idiot, and he's going to wreck you if you try to do this. Like you're bringing it onto yourself.
Well, what was funny was it did seem like rewatching the highlights even every time that Reeves got in a little like fisticuffs or like getting in people's faces, he had the biggest smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just like, "Oh, inject this into my veins."
Yeah, yeah. There was even a Habs fan that came on one of the Leaf fan pages I'm on Facebook today, saying that the only reason why the Leafs won last night was because the refs were in our favor.
For once, yay!
And I'm like, no, they weren't. They weren't in our favor at all. And I think, the Leafs dominated that game. It was really unfortunate to have the puck bounce off of McCabe's butt and go and on the line for another goal right near the end of the game, because Sammy didn't deserve that goal to go in on him. And the first goal in the post-game interview, he couldn't see the puck. He was getting screened. He couldn't see anything. Yeah, it was also tipped. And, people were bashing him right away. Oh, 1 goal and 1 shot. And I'm like, if you can't see the puck, you can't see the puck.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a lot of the things that were happening to his game was because he was being screened or there was high danger opportunities. And, there's one player in particular, and I think are we done talking about that game so I can do this little the runoff now?
All right, you know what? We just got the third period to run through, so we'll do it quickly. But in the third period, Captain Toronto, Johnny Toronto, with a goal. And what was nice? You knew he was going to get a goal because he's had 42 career points versus the Jets. Yeah. And it was his 13th of the season. It was a power play goal. Riley and Marner on the Apples. The next goal, this is history. And the totally legal stream that I was watching definitely didn't cut out and said, we are dealing with technical difficulties. I posted that video in the group chat. I was so bummed out that happened at that time. Like, you got to be shitting me. I will, at least, if anything, for like bashing, I will bash Gary Bettman, because I used to get the NHL live package yearly, right? Yeah. And it was so easy. I just pay the one-time fee. I would usually get the early bird special, so it was like $20, $30 cheaper. But you would have to get it around like preseason time, right? And so I got that package for like most of the 2010s up until like the Panini pandemic and lockdowns, right? And ever since then, it's been a downhill spiral of watching games has been hell, a new layer of hell. One, fuck you, Gary Bettman. I honestly cannot wait for the party that I'm hosting when you are gone. Fuck you in your face, you penguin, Danny DeVito penguin-looking motherfucker. Matthews with his 40th goal. That was his 60th point. Fastest Leaf to reach that. And it was a power play goal. Marner and Riley on the Apples on that. That was like rewatching the highlight, at least, like it looked like the definitive Austin fucking Matthews goal. It was beautiful, at least. But yes, fuck you, Gary Bettman. And the last goal, the last Leaf goal, unassisted empty netter by Benoit. I've been liking Benoit lately. The feistiness from him, he's fun.
Yeah, he's a very physical player, and him and McCabe have been playing really well in a line together as well.
Nice.
They're a good shutdown pairing.
They'll fuck you right up is what they'll do.
Yep.
So this is the last goal, and what was funny was when this goal happened, I actually shouted at the screen like, "Oh, fuck off with that shit." The Appleton's goal, which happened in like the dying seconds. Sammy was way out of the net, and the puck is like right on the line, and Appleton just comes in and pushes it in. If there's one rule I would change in the NHL, it would be like if you score in the goalie's blue paint, it doesn't count. I would bring that rule back. So that goal that bullshit shouldn't have counted. It should have been 4-1 Leafs win.
So there's one part you're missing about that was that Sammy wasn't out of position. Mm-hmm. The puck came from Sammy's left from the point. It bounced off of McCabe's butt onto the line, and then all of a sudden, Buddy's there just to tip it in, like just to tap it in. That was the McCabe butt goal that I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
It was a deflection off of his butt, and then Buddy tips it in, and then he comes up behind McCabe and cross-checks McCabe, and that's when somebody goes after him, and what does he do? He turtles.
It's like a turtle. He hides in his.
You cross-check two guys, plain sight, being all tough. Somebody goes after your number, and you just hide your head and squirtle up. Like,
am I not turtly enough for the turtle club?
Yeah. Like, I was just like, I have no respect for that player after that play. It was just like, come on, man. If you're going to go off and give it, you better take it.
Yeah.
Stand up for what you did.
Yeah. No, that goal shouldn't have counted, but it did. But the Leafs still came out winning the war, winning 4-2. Fuck you, Winnipeg. Some final team stats. The Leafs outshot the Jets 30-26. Out hit them 15-10, and we got 2 more penalty minutes than them, 14-12. We were better on the faceoffs than them, 62.2%, and they ended up with 37.8. Cody, the ice is yours. Blow up.
Okay, so this game, I was going on about it again in the group chat, and one of the biggest parts is that I want to go to the this disallowed goal, the goalie interference call. Everybody's saying, well, he was cross-checked into the goalie, blah, 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 blah. Yes, he was. But it says in the rule, you have to put in an effort to get away from that, like to get away from the goalie.
Okay.
Now, he did get off of him, but when Nylander got cross-checked into the goalie, he kind of just like, oh, no, I've been cross-checked, and fell under the goalie. Like, it was such a lazy fall. It didn't look like he got hit that hard.
And, like, whoa, I'm here now.
Like, I don't agree with the call on the ice. I still don't agree. I still think that that's a goal because Hellebuck actually dove to the right side of his net to make a save because he couldn't see where the puck was, and the goal came in from the left side of his net. So the rule states that a goalie has to be able to regain his position.
Yeah.
He regained his position, and then he dove out for his save where the puck wasn't. So, yeah, there's a lot of controversy on that. I don't agree with it, but at the same time, you know, I wanted to see that go for Bertuzzi because that guy deserved it.
Yeah, no, that was a nice goal. Like, because, rewatching the highlights, I did keep that in mind because, like, Nylander, like, he's not even touching the goalie. It looks like the goalie, Benoit, I'm fucking up his name. The Jets goalie. There we go. That's what I'm calling him.
Hellebuck?
Was it Hell? No, I swear.
Yeah, it was. No, Brossoit played the first game. Yesterday was Hellebuck. Yeah.
Hellebuck's. All right. Hellebuck looked fine when Bertuzzi got the goal. So, like, that goal should have counted.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, that's the starting to my rant was that even on that play, Nylander looked lifeless. Like, just look at the look in his face, man. Earlier in the game, we're on the penalty kill. The puck goes into Vancouver, Winnipeg's end, and Nylander all of a sudden puts the wheels on and goes rushing for that puck to try to get a shorthanded goal. That's the first time I've seen that guy put effort into a game in games, man. Like,
ever since he got signed.
Yeah, like, I know he scored those 2 goals against Vancouver, but those were lazy goals too. He lobbed one from the point and it somehow went in for one of them. Like, the other one was just a lob at the net and it just somehow went in.
Magically went in.
Yeah, and my biggest issue with him is that people always compare him to Marner. And for some reason, Marner is constantly bashed, and Nylander is the hero to everybody because he gets more goals than Marner all of a sudden now since last season. Problem is that Nylander doesn't play defense. You'll watch it on the face-off. He's sitting at the right side of the circle for the face-off. As soon as that puck is dropped, where's he going? Towards the blue line. When I was at the Red Wings game live, and when I was at, what was the other game I watched? The Pittsburgh game live, he's constantly floating around the blue line and center ice. When the puck is in the other team's end, he puts in an effort. When the puck's in the center of the ice, he plays with an effort. When the puck's in our end, he just stops putting any effort in whatsoever. And I don't know how many times I have seen that guy standing there against the boards, just staring off in space, doing absolutely nothing.
He's zoned out, just doing cardio.
He just doesn't care. You can see it in his face. He has zero care whatsoever unless the puck is on his stick or he has the chance to get the puck on his stick. He does not put in an effort ever in the game. He is the laziest, most useless player if he doesn't have the puck on his stick. And people always argue he's had less giveaways than Marner. Marner has 21 more giveaways in his career than Nylander, and that's it. Marner plays on the penalty kill and has since day one. Nylander just started playing the penalty kill now. Marner plays in the defensive zone. He leads block shots over Nylander by a significant amount. I'll never forget that game against Boston when Marner put his body out on the line and made those 3 massive blocks for us to win that game and force Game 7.
Wait, was that no, he took pucks to the face, right?
That was earlier this year. No, I mean in the playoffs, Game 6 against Boston. And he blocked 3-point shots and put his body out there on the line to force a Game 7 to give us a chance to win that series.
No, I remember one of the last games I went to was Leafs in Boston. It was Game 3, and it was in the dying seconds. Marner he lied out kind of like Brody does, like spread out, and he took pucks to the face. But that was Game 3, and I think it was either 2018 or 19. I think it was 19.
See, I don't recall hitting him in the face, but I could be wrong. I just remember him he had 3 massive blocks that he made to stop the puck from going to their net whatsoever in the dying seconds of the game to force the next game.
I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna go through the highlights of that series because I swear it was Game 3. That was the one I won the tickets for. But yeah, I remember he took pucks to the face, and I was just like, that kid's a fucking warrior. Yeah,
saying he has no heart. That kid has more heart on that team than anybody else in the league, man. He cares so much about that logo on the front of his jersey. He doesn't want to play for any other team than the Leafs.
No, he's a Leaf through and through.
He is, and he's gone through so much scrutiny and bashing that it's affected him in a mental aspect a lot over his career, but he's learning how to get away from that now.
He's learning how to turn off social media.
Yeah, remember back in the day when we had Matt Martin on the team and stuff like that, and him and Marner were just doing the little games in the bench and stuff with each other.
Yeah, they're dancing with Marner, each other.
Yeah, and then they were talking about how Marner always had vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce before every game, and you got to see that goofy, funny side of Marner. That's gone now.
Yeah, he's more of a man.
Well, no, now he says what he has to say, and he gets away from the mic.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be in front of that mic anymore because it doesn't matter what he says. Somebody's going to twist the words that he says around and make it sound a lot worse than it is.
Yeah.
They do the same thing with Sheldon Keefe all the time.
It's the fucking media, man. This is why you listen to podcasts and not the fucking media.
Yeah, you get the raw material, the reality of what's happening. It's not there's so many people that claim that they're fans of this team and the sport that don't actually even pay any attention to the game. They're sitting there posting stuff on Facebook and Twitter the whole game while the game's still playing.
Yeah.
You'll notice, even in the group chat, I do not comment on stuff unless we're at a period, a whistle.
Yeah, no, a whistle or a commercial break or the intermission. That's it.
Yeah, anytime the puck's not in play, I'll comment and say stuff. Yeah. But if it's a 4-minute play without a whistle happening, I'm not commenting on anything.
No,
I'm zoning in. I'm watching it.
Yeah.
And when we played that Sweden Global Series, everything was all Nylander this, Nylander that, Nylander this, Nylander that, and he was the man of the hour. And he came back and he got into a bit of a slump. Then he started playing again, and it was that Vancouver game that we were talking about that I mentioned, or no, Calgary, where he scored the 2 goals.
No, that was the Vancouver game because that was the loss, and he at least got 2 goals out of that one.
Yeah, and the first 3 goals were caused when he was on the ice because of lazy play by him. One of them, why didn't you block that shot? He literally turned his body sideways to prevent himself from blocking a shot, and it went in the net, and he screened his own goalie on that shot.
Oh,
and then another one, the puck was on his stick. He was putting in an effort. They took the puck away, and he just stood there and let them skate away. Back pressure. He doesn't have any.
It's like in Shell when your controller dies and your player's just standing there.
Yeah. And I see it happen with them all the time. Like when the other team's having an odd man rush going into our zone from their end and he's on the ice, he puts in no effort to get back. And the guy's got wheels on him. Like he can skate so fast, but he only does that when he has an opportunity to go and get a goal.
Like when he has the puck or if he's close to getting a goal.
Yeah, or if he has like last night where he had that chance to pickpocket the defender for a shorty.
Yeah.
And as soon as he missed the shot, what did he do? He just stopped again.
He just gave up.
Yeah, like he just doesn't play with an effort for most games. And a lot of people have bashed Keefe as a coach. Keefe has gone and lit a fire under his rear so many times, and that's what gets Nylander going again. And he even said, I need somebody to do that. Why?
You should do that yourself, buddy.
Have you been spoiled your whole life to the point that you need to have somebody screaming at you for you to put in an effort in your game? Like, I don't understand it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, he could be such an amazing player when he wants to be.
Like last season and this season, like for the better parts of it at least, should be proof enough of like all the pros that Nylander has and can do.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the part about him that really makes me mad. It burns me on the inside is the fact that he has it. He has it, but he just doesn't care. And then now there's all these rumors about how they're going to have to trade Marner, or they should trade Marner to work on the defense.
Honestly.
Like, seriously?
Stop with that shit.
He might not score at Matthews' level, but, man.
He at least got, like, he's always doing something out there. Like, Marner is a tenacious player, and, like, he'll either start setting up a play to get an assist or like the goal he got, like, he'll take the goal or take the shot, get the goal. Marner always does something. And even the game I saw, the Leafs Boston game, he's so much more tenacious. Like when you see him live in person, he's a firecracker in the best way on our team.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about the play that they have when they have the puck. I'm talking about the play they have when they don't have the puck. There's so much more to this game than when you have a puck and when you don't have a puck. When you don't have the puck, you don't just give up on the game. It doesn't work that way.
No, you keep going.
So, but anyways, yeah, I was going to scream, hoot, and holler and all that, but I've already been warned I was too loud a couple times. So,
you got to keep the volume and shouting to a minimum of 5, not 11.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all of the rant though?
Yeah, get out there and start playing hockey. Quit being a prima donna and just play hockey. That's all I'm asking. That's all I want to do is watch the guy play hockey.
Okay, so I got 3 games here listed for this is after the All-Star break, right?
Yep.
Our next game is Monday, February 5th versus the Islanders, 7 p.m. start. And then Wednesday, February 7th versus Dallas. That's a 7 p.m. start. And then Saturday, February 10th versus Ottawa. That's a 7 p.m. start. Say if he at least, like, he's not the cause of the goals, like, against, but he at least puts up goals, assists, has multiple point nights. Would that be a good, like, easing way, like, oh, I'm sorry, Cody. Please love me again.
If he starts putting effort when he doesn't have the puck on his stick or in the opposite team's end, I'll start giving him more praise. But until then, like, no.
You got to earn it.
I'm not happy with him, man. Like, you can't just float like that. It's a team game, and he's a selfish player.
All Hopefully he puts up another, 2-goal night. It would be nice. But you know what? So now that we're on the those games, what are your predictions? Because this is the Positive Leafs podcast. Yay, let's go. What do you think the final scores will be for these games?
Islanders, it all depends on how that goalie's going to be and if they play that goalie, because he's phenomenal. But the Islanders have been on a really rough go lately. And I think it's the last 11 games, they've only won 2 in regular time and 1 in overtime. And that's it. And that's what brought on the change with Patrick Waugh going to the Islanders.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and he's won 2 and 1, I think, now.
Oh, wow.
So it hasn't really done much of a change yet. But I think that the Leafs have a really good chance on that one for sure. I could see that being not a really high-scoring game, but I'd say probably like a 3-1, 3-2 game for the Leafs' favor.
Nice. I'm with you there as well. Like, I think that'll be a close-scoring game. I want to say like 2-1 or maybe 3-2. But I you know what? I'm throwing the card on there. Johnny Toronto is getting the game winner goal.
It would be nice to see him score that game. Like, those fans are dumb.
I honestly, we don't need you. Yeah, you do. Fuck you.
I want to go to an Islanders game at their pad one day to watch the Leafs play them.
That'd be. Oh Jesus! I think you'd be saying worse things than you did to the Detroit fan there.
Oh, it would be brutal, man. Like, guaranteed fisticuffs are going to be happening in that game.
Oh Jesus! You're going to jail.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh fuck. All right, for the Dallas game, I'm gonna say, because I don't like Dallas. At least if they wear the Mike Badano jerseys, I'm like, okay, you know what, they're all right. But the fucking Ninja Star D is stupid. So the Leafs are gonna win 7-0. Fuck you, Dallas.
Wow, that's a big prediction.
I know, right? It's a big cojones. Yeah. What do you think the final's gonna be for that one?
It's going to be a high-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised.
7-0?
No, like 5-3.
Okay, yeah. That's still fun.
Dallas is a solid team, man. They've got a really good lineup, and they're just quietly doing their thing and keeping themselves near the top of the standings all season. Yeah. Like, you don't hear about them too much, but they're a good team.
I don't, because fuck Dallas. All right, and then the last one here, Saturday night, Battle of Ontario versus Ottawa. I'm going to say a 4-3 overtime win.
Yeah. Ottawa sucks.
Fuck
Ottawa.
The
last game, they were up 3-0, and then they had 7 unanswered goals scored against them.
Oh, that was the other night, right? Versus Pittsburgh. Yeah.
In the second period.
Fucking wild.
Like, yeah.
That's oh my god, what was it? I was actually watching, so I was multitasking last night. I was playing GTA 5 on the TV, and after the Leafs game I put on the Vancouver game. I'm only telling this story just because it's a comeback win. Vancouver was losing 4-1 because of course it's 4-1 to Columbus, and they came back and they won it 5-4 in overtime. Lots of fucking comebacks this year. Just saw your message.
You go on to your next part, and I'll be back in a minute.
All right. So the one of the last things I'm going to share here before we sign off is my comeback story in fantasy hockey this year. I'm so fucking proud of myself. Fucking heck. Here, give me a second. I just am messaging. He fucking messages the group, the podcast group chat. Almost. This is fantastic audio. I'm so sorry, guys, but I love you all. There we go. Okay. So the main fantasy league that I follow is with my brother and a couple of our buddies. This was the one at the start of this season, I drafted Matthews first overall. It was recorded during this show. It was funny because after I drafted Matthews first overall, Ryan was going, oh, he scored 70, he scored 80, and I'm hyping it up too. Like, yeah, he is. It's because I got him. Yeah. So I think it was somewhere in November. I started slumping, and I made my way down in the fantasy league standings, and I was like fourth, fifth. I wasn't sixth; it was fourth or fifth. And with this league, the goalie points get you the most points. It's all like silly high amounts and shit. So my Devils buddy Johnny and I, hi Johnny, we rotate between the goalies every day because again, the goalie points get you the most. This is going to be funny when Cody comes back. I'm just letting it roll. So ever since I started rotating the goalies on a daily basis, I've come right back and crawled my way up from like fifth or fourth. And at least since doing the whole like goalies changing on the daily fly here, I'm second. I'm second in the league, currently with 18,260 points, and I'm 1,515 points behind first. Johnny is in first. Johnny, I'm coming for you, buddy. But yeah, that was my comeback fantasy story. I'm so fucking proud of myself that I came back because like it was bumming me out because I'm like, fuck, I'm fourth or fifth. It's one of the leagues I follow, the fantasy leagues that I follow like mainly, and just also I could caught Matthews first overall. Like that's one I was like, okay, I'm focusing in on that one. Cody, are you back? I hear you.
Yeah, I'm back.
Well, one, welcome back, and two, you missed the entire story. I kept going with it.
All good, buddy.
We like to have fun here. But to recap for you, November I did goalie changes daily with Johnny, and some days, like when there's less games, it becomes a tighter race at who gets the goalie. But ever since switching the goalies on a daily basis, I've crawled from like fourth or fifth all the way up to second, and I'm only
nice.
I'm only 1,000 points behind Johnny. So I'm coming for you, buddy. Coming for you. And
yeah, I can't say too much good about myself. This week has been brutal. Like my $25 league.
Oh,
I am losing 8-1.
Oh no!
Yeah, boobies are down. And earmuffs. Don't listen to this. Kid.
Cover your ears.
Yeah, that's the $50 league, sorry. The $25 league, I'm down 7-3. Matthews and his bitches are not doing so good right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, league number one for free league, I'm losing to Marissa 8-3.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the slick cunts are not very slick right now.
Oh, no.
And then my last one, the Dirty Danglers are down 5-3 right now, and that one's a goalie-based league, and it drives me nuts because there's a lot more to hockey than just goaltending.
Oof. You're gonna go on. I'm manifesting it for you. You're gonna go on a hot streak in fantasy.
Oh, I killed it last week. I won every single one of them, like dominated every one of them.
Hey, there you go.
But I'm sitting like 8th, 9th, or 10th place in every single league that I'm in.
Oh, no, you're at the bottom of the leagues.
Yeah, I haven't been swapping players out at all, though. So I just haven't been able to.
Oh, you're sticking with your teams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, if I don't do trades that much, it's just more of the, at least in the league with my brother and the one I have Matthews first overall. It's just the goalie switches. I don't really do trades in that one, but yeah, I'm coming for first. Coming for you, Johnny. All right, so on that, I have no other notes. Oh shit! You know what? Actually, going through my notes because I meant to share this video on a recent, like one of our recent episodes, right? I'm going to play this very silly video, and Cody, I think you're going to love it because it's Will Ferrell.
And we are about to begin the second period. Why don't we take it away, gentlemen, and turn down to the ice? Yes. You and I shared a couple of Molsons. I only had one. You only had one, and I had 15. Go, Kings! Go, Kings, go! Come on, people! You don't mind if I bite into this burrito right now, do you? Oh, my God. When does the kiss cam start? Oh, I don't know. You know, it'd be something like this. Kopitar with the puck. He dribbles, he skates up the ice, and shot a goal! He scores! Put that baby to bed without a diaper. For those of you at home, we've had to stop action on the ice several times. Yeah. Feral cats have run onto the ice. They killed the penalty! Yes! Just shoot! Oh, well, they don't have the puck. It's the first time I've ever been on the kiss cam. This is one of the greatest nights of my life. I got to kiss a burrito.
That came up in Facebook memories back in November, and I've wanted to share it on the show since. That is Will Ferrell dressed up as Ron Burgundy, commenting on a LA Kings game, which we need to get Joe Bowen back on TV, but my God, I will happily sign my name on any fucking petition to get Ron Burgundy to announce hockey. It doesn't even have to, it could be the Leafs, it could be any fucking team, it could be the Kings again. Just Will Ferrell, please come back and do more Ron Burgundy announcing games. That was too. Come on, people!
I still love the fact that you are 100% Jackie Moon from Semi-Pro.
Everybody love everybody. The moment you told me that, I tried to get the movie, like whether to take it out on DVD or stream it. But as soon as I watched it and that scene came up, they're in the bus, and there's two players bickering at each other at the back of the bus, and then Will Ferrell from the front of the bus turns around and he goes, "Everybody love everybody," and I'm like, yeah, that is me to a fucking T.
There's a lot more than just that scene, though, man.
No, I know. It's all the sex jokes, and like the dude doesn't like his face, and I'm like, yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, it's just like, I've never puked, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna punch you," and then he's like, "I'm gonna puke, I'm gonna puke." And he's like falling all over, being so dramatic about it and stuff like that. It's just
that's Mikey D to a T.
Yeah. Just your form of reaction and stuff is so much like him. Like, oh man, it's great.
I'm Will Ferrell for when Will Ferrell isn't Will Ferrelling.
Yeah.
All right. On that, Cody, do you have any final thoughts or anything?
No. Basically, just enjoy your week without hockey. You know, it's nice to get a break for us. It's nice for the team to get a break. Sammy's off to Mexico with his wife and kid and his parents.
Oh,
go and get some time away and then come back. I think it was like for a couple days before their next game to get some ice time back in and that. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like, Toronto's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot going on with the All-Star game and all that. And just remember, it's for kids. Remember, Nylander needs to start playing
some defense.
Hockey. just hockey. And thanks for listening to the pod, everybody. Thanks, Mikey, for letting me back on again. It's been a slice.
Buddy, you're a co-host. I adore, appreciate, and love you having you on. We're going to do another episode. So, like running down into the stretch into the playoffs here, we're going to get into either weekly or every other week, but we're planning it out, and there's going to be more episodes. So that whole gap of November to there wasn't an episode until what, January or so. No, we're going to be more frequent than that. The coffee's going to be good. Hopefully it's good for you too. Cody, where can the fine people find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at William Cody Donaldson, or you can find me on Twitter at W_Donaldson. I've also got Instagram that I never use, so I don't remember what the handle is on that. And if you're ever looking for me, just ask Mikey too. He's more than happy to let you know who I am. Thanks for everything, guys. And I just wanted to do a couple shout outs too.
Go for it.
There's a good group of people.
Podcast.
Yeah, no, we have a good group of people that we get to have the benefit of having in our circle of friends. And I'd like to say big shout out to Anissa/Aaron, whatever name you decide you want to go with today. And Step Henny. Yeah. Hey, Step Henny. My lover in disguise. Yeah. And to my baby mama and the dad to my baby, Kyle's. What's going on there, Australia chick?
Going on down under.
Yeah, to the big dick Richard. Can't wait to see you again and buy you a ice cap. To Crazy Marissa and her Sheldon Keefe daddy obsession. What's up? To Adam. I hope you and Jeff are getting along a little bit more right now.
You guys are on good terms, hopefully.
Yeah, I know Jeff can be a real pain in your ass at times, but, we're all here for you.
We're all rooting for you, Adam.
And to Ryan and Kyle especially, it was an honor to meet those two and be able to go out and have some time with them. It was really cool. And if there's anybody in the group that I missed, I apologize. It's not on purpose. I'm just not the brightest person all the time.
I will drink to that.
And let's keep it going. We're past the halfway point on the season. The Leafs have been looking good the last few games, playing actual high talent teams with good records. And let's hope for the best and keep cheering for our boys and stay positive, because that's all you can do.
Oh, there's nothing better than sweeping the Jets.
100%, buddy. Oh, and Jesse Pollock, brush your teeth.
I'd share Ryan's socials, but I don't have it listed. But you can follow Ryan on Twitter. I think his is at RyanWillie93. There may or may not be an underscore. I can't recall. But go follow him.
Capital R for Ryan and capital W for Willie93.
Yeah, there you go. Got to get your caps in. You can follow my shenanigans at MikeyD_392. Anywhere, Twitter, X, fuck you, Elon, Insta, and you can follow the show on the socials at Be-Leaf-ers Pod. And yeah, that's it. Until next time, Cody, because we got to be quiet. Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, fucking go. Let's go.
I'm yelling right now.
You see these all go to 11. So we're really at 5. All right.
Peace.